This is This Day in Wrestling. I'm Jennifer from Cultaholic, and joining me on the 15th of April is Sam.
All right.
Hi, Sam. I've changed, have you?
No. I don't have many clothes. It's just me.
This is us, anyway.
Yeah.
15th of April. So, should we start off? Brian Pillman.
Yeah, so in
This was a bad day for him.
1996, Brian Pillman fell asleep at the wheel of his Humvee in rural Kentucky. He had an accident that basically pinned his leg and caused massive extensive damage to his leg. And he used to wrestle like quite a high-flying style, and this would force him to become more of a grounded wrestler, more of an aggressive wrestler. Yeah,
because he had to fuse, like, the bones in his ankles
Yeah,
together.
so he
Is that
couldn't
right?
really, he didn't have a lot of mobility after that. But he was still signed by WWF. So they signed an injured Brian Pillman just on the proviso that he was that good. So, you know, it's not all bad, I guess.
It's not all bad.
He would obviously go on to have a great run in WWE. Some really memorable storylines, especially involving Steve Austin, just some great stuff there. But it's just interesting that he was signed while he was injured.
Yeah, no, I think that's like, because have they done that with anyone else?
I don't think it's something they've ever really done. Like, it's such a risk, especially these days.
But like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But like, I think as well the fact that other people out there who've had to dramatically, through injury, change their whole style. Like you said, he was like totally high flying, and then he had to have a lot more kind of like grounded stuff. Who else? Obviously.
Jushin Liger, as he got older, moved from a high-flying wrestler to more of a mat-based, technical, and strike-based type guy. Obviously, Steve Austin, when he had his neck injury, that forced him to become a lot more grounded and straight to the point. There's a few, but I think Brian Pillman is interesting because he was signed literally after the incident. Yeah,
good on you, Brian. So 2007 was an important day in WWE as well because they banned all non-company photographers from their shows.
They said it was to make the viewing experience more enjoyable, less crowded on the hard camera side, but at the same time you sort of lost that special feeling when, you know, there'd be a huge spot or something massive was going to happen and you'd get all the bulb flashes and everything was just so bright and it just really eye-catching, and that went away over time, and obviously with the advent of mobile phone cameras, it's pretty much gone altogether. And it's just a sad thing because it was such like an important part of wrestling presentation-wise in my childhood. Like,
to see all the kind of go
big
off
pay-per-views, it would just be
totally.
like camera
It was almost
flashes
like
everywhere.
a kind of smaller pyro.
Yeah,
like,
essentially. It just it gave that sort of really big feeling that everybody wanted to photograph.
But saying that, I think as well now, like you were saying with phone cameras and stuff, with things like entrances now, like the Wyatts, and they can use like that feels pretty cool. Yeah. Like when you see that, I remember the first time I saw it like at a house show, and I still like, fair enough, it was a house show, but I was like, oh, this feels massive. Like, I mean, you could see them clearly walking to the ring, but I was like, this feels like mental. Like,
with the Mania 32, when everybody got their phones out, it was so bright.
Yeah.
Like you could see like the illumination from just the phone lights because everything was off. It was really good.
So that kind of works now. But do you think it's something that they like? Obviously now with you're saying with like phones and stuff, you can't really have that spectacle. But do you think definitely there was a time where it missed it? For you?
I just think it ruined some of the magic for me. I think it was a big part of the presentation style, and like that was very much my youth in terms of how it looked back then. It just doesn't look the same anymore, and I just sound like a crotchety old man. But
bring back disposables.
Just there's something about just all those camera flashes going off, and especially the ones at ringside because they were the ones that really got the impact on the camera lenses when they were filming. It's annoying when you go back on the network in our job when you know we need to get stills from a match, and it'll be a really pivotal moment, and every single time you pause to get a still, it's just camera flashes blowing out the screen. But it was still just something
added
that made
to the magic.
Made it more magical.
Fair enough, that all happened with that, but it's not been the only production change over the past while, has it? Like, see, that I don't really know about the kind of behind camera stuff at all.
I always think
so. You tell me.
Wrestling should be presented like a sport. I think like.
Do you think sometimes it's not like?
Yeah, I think over time WWE especially is very guilty of making it more entertainment, but that's their whole remit. They want it to be sports entertainment. Entertainment is where the emphasis is, and they with the sort of MTV generation, which is sort of the back end of us, and into the millennial generation, everything's very like instant gratification and quick and flashy, and needs to keep your attention at all times. So you don't just have one screen in the room anymore. You've got multiple screens, and you're usually using more than one screen at once. You have your phone in your hand while you're watching something, and they need to keep your eye on that screen instead of looking at your phone. So everything's very cutty, and it's all fast, and there's all those horrible crash zooms and shaky cameras, and they change things up so there's no hard cam sometimes, and they've just got a jib and it's moving around like on SmackDown. Or you've got, even on SmackDown now, with those god-awful words that pop in, and it doesn't feel like wrestling, and it doesn't feel like it can be taken seriously as a sport, because they're not really trying to make it a sport anymore.
Do you think there's other like companies that are keeping it more like?
I think New Japan treat it very old school. Yeah, it's all about coverage and making sure everything's captured. Because WWE were obviously the pioneers of that in the 90s. They had this very clean style that they've built on and built on and built on to the point now where it's unrecognizable. But that was sort of perfect wrestling presentation for me. I think New Japan do it well. Ring of Honor do it quite well. Like a lot of independents do it quite well out of necessity, really, because it's beyond their means to do all the crazy stuff.
Like, who can afford all that?
Yeah, it's just, I guess it's changing to fit with the current climate and culture and YouTube, and it just doesn't feel the same anymore.
Do you think they would ever revert back?
I'd like it if they reverted back for the older shows, like when they do the anniversary editions of shows, and like if we had like a more traditional layout for that, and I just think that adds to that sort of magic. But I don't think we'll ever go back, because now we're at the point where they're using their phone cameras to do self-recorded promos backstage.
That's weird.
It's a big cost-cutting measure, I guess, but it just
just like, because I was like wondering, I was like, do you think there's like the WWE phone?
Is it like they're trying to get them all across as like vloggers, or it makes no sense?
But like, no, like it's very strange.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
It just doesn't feel like it. I think we're past the point now where it's ever going to go back. I think it's just going to keep moving forward and evolving into whatever is popular in current culture, and they'll just try it, and if it sticks, it sticks, and if not, it'll get got rid of.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much everything I know of that happened on this day. Anything overseas that I have no clue about?
So in 2001, or 2000 actually, there was a mass exodus from All Japan Pro Wrestling after Giant Baba died. Giant Baba's wife took control of the company, and she wasn't really favouring the younger homegrown talent. She wanted to bring in imports. She wanted to change the company's direction in line with what she thought her late husband would have wanted. This annoyed to no end a lot of the roster, especially a guy called Mitsuharu Misawa. Misawa basically led this mass exodus to form a brand new company called Pro Wrestling Noah, and to crown their first champion, which is the global honoured crown. It's sort of like IWGP for New Japan. It's like their governing body. Noah has GHC. So to crown that, the first ever champion, they had the 16-man tournament, and Misawa won after defeating Yoshihiro Takayama in the finals. So it was sort of a big deal for them because they had the first ever real champion. It was the chairman of the company, but
as you do,
he was an incredible wrestler, and fully deserved it.
There you go. And my favourite part again is a birthday. It's a good birthday, something I really like as well. Okay. And it's a big birthday for them too.
Okay.
Which is even better. Happy, very, very, very happy 40th birthday to Austin Aries.
Austin Aries.
I love Austin Aries, putting it out there.
I think he was really underutilised in WWE. It's a shame. Yeah.
I genuinely thought 205, he was gonna completely.
Yeah, I thought his commentary was fantastic as well.
Was good.
So good. I just think, I guess they did sort of disrespect him a bit, and he is a much bigger name than I think they gave him credit for. But he's back on the independent scene. He's killing it right now. He's got every belt under the sun. So
heavy bag, excess baggage.
All power
Charges
to him.
must be absolutely wild. But do you hear do you think that obviously the rumours that he was a bit difficult?
I don't know. I think every wrestler who gets to WWE must have some sort of ideal way they look at their career and how they should be booked. But I've never really read anything about Aries being difficult. I think all wrestlers must have at least a little bit of an ego and a way that they want to have their career, and whether or not that lines up with what the company wants.
That's where the clash is. Well, happy birthday, Austin Aries. I hope you're having the best vegan birthday cake in the world.
Unless Alberto Del Rio's waving meat in your face again.
What?
Did that on Impact?
Ew. So that was This Day in Wrestling, and you can follow me on Twitter here. If you like what we do at Cultaholic, you can support us by pledging to our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.